From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Industries across the board utilize fleet trucks on a daily basis, from your local utility company to your grocery store, and many of these companies choose full-service fleet leasing. With a traditional lease, you're responsible for everything after you get the truck, but a full-service lease includes all the maintenance and other services at a set cost. Regardless of the scope or range of your fleet needs, TranService will engineer a fully customized, full-service fleet leasing solution optimized to your requirements. From asset acquisition requiring no capital investment, to the engineering, configuration, and selection of your fleet equipment, to the people, facilities, and equipment to keep your fleet maintained and repaired. TranService gives you everything you need, with advantageous fleet pricing based on our national account status, compliance expertise, inspections, licensing, permitting, personal property taxes, nationwide roadside service. We cover it all for you. Contact us today to learn why leading companies rely on TranService for complete turnkey leasing solutions.
Here to perform our national anthem, please welcome award-winning, multi-platinum country music icon and star of the upcoming Fox series Monarch, Trace Adkins.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
The following is an All-Star 15 TV production.
Hello everybody and welcome to All-Star 15 TV on the broadcast tonight. It is race number 3 in the round of 16 for the Sim500 TranService Truck Series. We're coming to you live from Dover Motor Speedway. In the broadcast booth with me is the wonderful Mike Campigio.
AJ, how we doing? Welcome everybody along to Dover Motor Speedway, as they call it now. It's race number 3, like AJ said, of the playoffs. We're looking forward to a great night of racing ahead here on a hot track, which should provide a lot of action for the viewers at home.
Hey, you mentioned a hot track. Just in practice alone, we're sitting at 115 track temp. This concrete mile is slick, and Miles is looking to bite some people. But let's bring in some of the points. Unfortunately, we didn't get a graphic for it. But Nelson Rivero's plus 14, EJ O'Rourke's plus 12. Justin Fuller plus 8, plus 7 is Sean Macklin. Brian Macklin is plus 5 to the cut line. Wesley Donaldson's plus 4. Scott Zimley's plus 2, and Chad Coleman is the cut line. Then Byron Daly minus 1, Tyler Dalton minus 3, Jason Karlovich minus 5, Richard Beasley minus 7, Eric Arnold minus 8, minus 10 for Kevin Stone, Bobby Wetzel minus 23, and Tommy Ryan minus 36. Those are how the points sit coming into tonight's race. Mike, why don't you run us through Dover Motor Speedway past?
All right, AJ, let's do that. Let's go back to earlier this year. We raced here on race number 8 of the season, where we ran 145 laps, 7 leaders for 9 lead changes. We also had 7 cautions for 28 laps in that race. The pole was won by Byron Daly, who led 25 laps. Most laps led was Brian Macklin at 60, but the winner was Jason Karlovich, who started in 5th and led 10 laps in that race. Let's go back to 23, race number 21 on the season. 134 laps they ran that night, 8 leaders for 10 lead changes, 4 cautions for 16 laps. The pole was won by Tommy Ryan, who led 3 laps, but the winner was Tyler Dalton, who started 6th and led 29 laps. We'll go back to again in 2023, race number 8 on the season. We ran 150 laps, 4 leaders for 5 lead changes. Then that race went caution-free. Pole was won by Mike Montesi, but he did not lead a single lap in that race. The winner was Pedro Mojica, who started in 4th and led 107 laps, which was the most in that event. And finally, 2022, they ran 120 laps here, 5 leaders for 6 lead changes, 5 cautions for 20 laps. The pole was Justin Fuller, who led also 56 laps, which was the most in that race. And the winner was Tommy Ryan, who started in 10th and led 11 laps.
All right, everybody, we are 30 seconds away from getting qualifying started. Who are you all picking in the chat? Myself, I am going with the driver, the number 18 Toyota, Sean Macklin. Mike, who you got?
Well, AJ, as you mentioning Sean Macklin, he's currently sitting P1 here in practice, so you're looking pretty good right here based off practice times. But I'm going with the guy that's below the cut line, AJ, and could we possibly say in a must-win situation to advance? That's right. It's Tommy Ryan. That's who I'm going with, and Tommy did win back here in 2022, like I just mentioned.
This is going to be fun. Practice is over. We are just about to get qualifying going. It's going to be interesting to see what these drivers are going to end up doing. Which is over to qualifying. Who's going to hit the track first?
And Sean Macklin's coming out for me, AJ.
Here he is. Driver number 18 RFK Ford. Called it a Toyota. Oops. His brother's in a Toyota. That's where I got mixed up. But down the backstretch he goes. He's going to run it like a super speedway, like we see a lot of these trucks do at most tracks. He's going to cut down on exit and across the line. I would assume your first lap is going to be your good lap, right, Mike? Or is this a track that holds up to lap number 2? As the 18 smacks the wall out of 2.
I think it depends on how cautiously you take that first lap, AJ. I mean, if you want to be really aggressive right off the bat, your first lap will probably be the quickest lap. But if you also want to hold back for that second one, take the first one a little bit easier and then really get up the ponies on that second one.
Macklin with a 23.31. Tyler Dalton with a 23.66. Justin Fuller with a 23.42.
It looks like, as we have in the chat, Soda has the 41 EJ O'Rourke winning the race tonight there, AJ. Good pick.
Very good pick. Watch for that 41 to do what he does best and go around the outside.
A throwback to our old Scott Ramler right there.
There you go. Tyler Dalton, good for P1 on his second lap, a 23.30. Bobby Wetzel is going to have to stick with that 9th place for right now. But Nelson Rivera finishing qualifying out of turn 4 to the line. Good for 5th lap. Karlovich first lap puts him P4. Oh, loose.
Oh, hang on to it. Oh, what a... How did he not hit that wall? Oh, he hit the inside wall, but how did he not hit that outside
What's
wall?
sad is he got really loose and out of control, but he was only a 10th.5 slower. Can you imagine if he kept that going the right way?
That would have been a pole lap.
That would have been a pole lap. Exactly. Kevin Stone, first lap, good for 18th.
And it looks like we have a little bit of a smaller field tonight there, AJ.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Versus...
Looking at just about 24, 25 people.
Oh, Bobby just...
And he's going to go back to 18th.
I think Bobby Wetzel tried practicing his pit entry here, and he hit the barrels. That's the thing we're going to have to watch for tonight, too. Green flag pit stops here with this pit road entry. It loves to come up and bite you.
It does, and everybody watching at home, whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch, hit that like button, subscribe. Everything helps to push All-Star 15 TV up the algorithm. Let's see what we got here. Richard Beasley. Little high on entry and through the center. Little wiggle off of exit, crosses the line for P1, his first lap. It's good for 20th. And EJ loops it on his first lap. What's this 10 has, if anything? He's just going to be okay with a 20th.
And EJ O'Rourke is finally pulling out here in the last minute of qualifying.
He's going to have one lap, and that's it.
And here he comes. He's going to take this green flag, and let's see what he can do.
Well, he already took the green flag. He's taking the white flag right now.
Oh.
He wrecked on his first lap.
Oh, he did. Okay.
Through 1 and 2, looking nice and steady. Down the back straightaway with a lot of speed. Across the line, 41 is going to go 8th.
Nice.
23.42. Well, 5 seconds left in qualifying, and it looks like Tyler Dalton is going to win the pole at Dover Motor Speedway and race number 21 of the Sim500 season. But it's warm-up time, which means we're going to step away and say hello to the title sponsor of the Sim500 TranService Truck Series. Here is TranService Trucking Logistics.
Industries across the board utilize fleet trucks on a daily basis, from your local utility company to your grocery store, and many of these companies choose full-service fleet leasing. With a traditional lease, you're responsible for everything after you get the truck, but a full-service lease includes all the maintenance and other services at a set cost. Regardless of the scope or range of your fleet needs, TranService will engineer a fully customized, full-service fleet leasing solution optimized to your requirements. From asset acquisition requiring no capital investment, to the engineering, configuration, and selection of your fleet equipment, to the people, facilities, and equipment to keep your fleet maintained and repaired. TranService gives you everything you need with advantageous fleet pricing based on our national account status, compliance expertise, inspections, licensing, permitting, personal property taxes, nationwide roadside service. We cover it all for you. Contact us today to learn why leading companies rely on TranService for complete turnkey leasing solutions.
We're back, everybody. It's time for the starting lineup. From Dover Motor Speedway, you're watching All-Star 15 TV's broadcast of the Sim500 TranService Truck Series. Starting on the pole, the driver of the number 19, it's Tyler Dalton. Starting second, the 18 of Sean Macklin. In row number 2, Pedro Mojica and Byron Daly. Row 3, Jason Karlovich and Justin Fuller. In row 4, Nelson Rivera, E.J. O'Rourke, and rounding out the top 10 in row number 5, Mark Jorgensen and Brian Macklin.
All right, AJ, let's go to 20 here. In 11th place, we got Wesley Donaldson. In 12th place, Seth Foudy. In 13th is Mike Kelly. In 14th is Mike Montesi. In 15th is Glenn Campbell. In 16th is Bobby Wetzel. In 17th is Chad Coleman. In 18th is Scott Simley. And 19th is Kevin Stone, and rounding out your top 20 is Stoney Benfield.
Right, everybody. Well, 140 laps, 140 miles around the Monster Mile. This is gonna be a very fun race. It's gonna be an intense race because next week we go to Chicagoland for a cutoff. We're gonna go from 16 to 8, 2 weeks. But before we get there, we need to figure out what's going to happen tonight. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We are a half a lap away from going green.
And just to remind people at home, these guys got 3 sets of tires in the pits, and the fuel window is looking about 65 to 70 laps tonight, everybody.
And it is hot on that racetrack.
We're going to be slipping and sliding, having a barn burner.
Barn burner. Here we go. And green flag is out.
Still side by side for lead. Nobody's really getting an early advantage here, AJ.
Sean's trying to keep that 18 in there. Still fighting on the inside.
Byron Daly trying to decide what move he wants to do. He's sitting up there behind the front 2 that are side by side.
Sean is putting a lot of pressure on Tyler.
And Tyler's got a good run off here. Can he clear Sean going into turn 1? No, he cannot. Sean stays to the inside right here.
Should be able to on exit. There he goes. The 19 is clear.
A little bit close there, but they made it work. And now, majority of the field is heading in single file here. We're going to log some laps to begin this race.
Definitely good to see early on in this race. Jason Karlovich puts the fastest lap on the board at 23:74.
Brian Macklin making his way to the inside of Nelson Rivera back here. Those guys are side by side.
Yeah, Dover is a place where if you're going to make a pass, you need to get it over and done with. The more you are side by side, the cars or trucks in front of you are just going to continue to pull away. You are significantly slower side by side.
And we will mention this too, since Dover is a self-cleaning racetrack. If someone has in trouble in front of you, you're most likely going to be in it.
Yeah. The walls are very close on the front and back stretch, so if somebody goes across the racetrack, smacks one wall, they're most likely coming right back to your credit, Mike. 100%.
They're definitely not the walls of Jericho, as one would say.
I see what you did there. Wrestling is good.
You see Scott Simley back. Or no, that's Mike Kelly in that 2 truck, actually. He is looking in the inside of Mike Montesi. Good to see Mike Montesi back this week, too.
Same thing with Mike Kelly.
Yeah, both of Mikes have been missing here recently. Good to see them here.
Yeah, Kelly's been around a little bit more, but 100%. As look at Bobby Wetzel. You know, he started all the way back in that 18th position. He has moved up to 15th, and right now, he could just gain a little bit this run, a little bit next run, but look at Chad Coleman right behind him. Chad is putting on the heat early on in the race.
We have not seen the groove wide out too much here, but I anticipate here shortly we're going to be seeing guys run. George Jensen, hang on. There we go. Nice save.
Yikes. That could have been bad, especially through the turn.
Yes, but I assume here in the next 20 laps or so, we're going to see guys running all the way against the outside wall in the middle of the corners.
Well, anybody want to take a guess on who that first truck is most likely going to be?
Should we say the 41 at EJ work?
Yep, that's where I was going to go. And he's already +3 positions, sitting in 5th on an island of his own. As the 51 of Justin Fuller, just about a half a second behind him. But that top 5 is pulling away. Tyler Dalton, 3/10 over Byron Daly. Byron Daly almost a second over Sean Macklin. And Jason Karlovich right on the back bumper of the 18. Just a couple car lengths separating the two.
Ooh, Chad Coleman scraped the wall for turn 2. He's stacked up now. Bobby Wetzel's looking to the inside. I thought Bobby was going to look to the inside of him, but decided to think better of it. But Chad hit the outside wall off of 2. He looks like he's fighting that truck right now, AJ.
Absolutely. Such a difficult racetrack. And that's before you get 115 degrees.
Well, just like some of us were talking last night in kind of our pre-race meeting, we were talking that Dover is a driver's racetrack, and you really got to be in good enough shape to run these trucks with the elevation changes here and manhandle these things on the corners. Because once you hit those elevation changes, whoo, it's a load on your body.
Move up Pedro Mojica from 7th to 6th as he gets by the 51 of Justin Fuller. Now, Mike, we talked about this earlier with Dover, and I think a lot of other racetracks on the circuit. Is this a race where you're racing the racetrack kind of like a Darlington, and then the drivers are second until later on in the race?
You know, AJ, that's a very good point. I mean, it can be like Darlington in the sense where you want to race the racetrack and race yourself, so you save tires and can be there at the end of a long run. So I could definitely see the argument that it would fall into that scenario. And it also kind of reminds me too, I'd say a little bit of Gateway too, but Gateway has smaller banking than Dover, but Gateway's another track where the guys, that's really a racer's racetrack, and you really got to know how to hustle a truck around that track too. It's the same thing with Dover. You really know how to hustle a truck around here and get it feeling good over a long course of a run, because we're going to see a lot of green flag racing tonight, I believe.
What's going on, Tim Brown in the Facebook chat? Welcome to iRacing.
Yes, welcome to iRacing.
Thank you for subscribing to All Star 15 TV. Appreciate it, pal.
Can we tell him to leave his frustrations at the door?
Yeah, well, especially if they're officials.
I'm sorry, but I'm just like, come on,
Oh, Mike Montesi is shoving Seth Foddy down the front stretch. That's going to put George Jensen to the back bumper of the 4 through 1 and 2.
That was the gaggle of trucks right there.
I kind of thought the 4 was going to get sent in the turn 1. And they're still all under a blanket as you see Foddy and the 11 in the wall.
And Chad Coleman's thinking about taking it 3 wide middle, but he thinks better of it. Maybe he's going to try to get under George Jensen here or follow George Jensen through.
Coleman trying to get through the corner. You see him with a late exit, late entry. Oh!
Oh, Chad, hang on.
That was a
Oh, that's the inside.
You mentioned follow. He followed Jorgensen. Just Coleman was the only one that went into the wall.
Yeah, Jorgensen and Chad's trucks right now, early on in this race, 20 laps in here almost. Those things are wicked evil, and they're going to need a lot of adjustments.
Thanks, Tim. I appreciate it.
Oh, Chad. We're going to get a caution. It's probably going to be coming from that 38. I hate to say it, but...
Yeah, he is hemorrhaging positions right now.
That thing is evil.
He was just in 12th. He's fallen all the way back to 19th.
He's probably experiencing what I felt last night at Gateway. When I was struggling at Gateway last night. It was not a good time. Let's see, Richard Beasley's back there too. Beasley hasn't really moved up much. And Faster Pastor hasn't really moved up much either. I mean, so we got some guys back there that are normally maybe the higher up teens to top 10 positions. They're in the 20s so far.
Richard Beasley, he is struggling tonight in the 10 tide ride. But Dalton, it looks like it has the race under control. That last time by a 10.5 faster than Byron Daly, who's sitting in second. Sean Macklin and Jason Karlovich basically under a blanket with these two.
You know, AJ, as I'm looking here in the field, Tommy Ryan, was he in practice?
I don't think so.
Because I'm not seeing him anywhere on the field.
Yeah, I don't see him here.
Well, okay. I was just looking at that myself because I'm like, Tommy, where's Tommy at? Because I mean, Jeff Ryan too. I'm like, where's the Ryan brothers? And I'm like, oh, that's right, I picked Tommy. So I'm like, oh, okay. Well, Tommy's going to be definitely in a must-win position next week at Chicagoland.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know if the win helps him.
Yeah, that's a good point too.
He might be so far behind, the win might just look good for stats.
Oh, AJ, good luck. You got the booth pick tonight for the both of us.
I'll let you jump in on that one too.
Ooh, Bobby Wetzel sideways off of 4. Oh, Chad Coleman sideways again. I thought he was gonna hit the wall. The Faster Pastor stayed off him, but Chad was sitting, looking toward that outside wall off of 4.
Yeah, Stoney Benfield is an actual pastor. Yes, he is. He's in the 75 right there on your screen. And Tim, absolutely. I am a big modified fan. I come from New England. So I got Waterford, Thompson, and Stafford within 45 minutes to an hour from me. So I try to go as much as possible. Those modifieds are fun, especially on iRacing. The only reason why I wish I was going up to New Hampshire this weekend.
Oh,
flag is
Simley. Simley's around off of 4.
Go back and take a look at this. Ooh, little neck coat there. Not a big hit at all. He's just going to get a little loose and a little bit of a neck coat off of Bobby Wetzel. Going to slide all the way to the inside wall. I'm surprised the yellow came out because he's still facing the right way. He's just stopped.
Yeah.
Well,
But
first caution of the evening. It's feeding time. Everybody coming down pit road except one driver.
Brian Wertman. Looks like Brian wants to stay out and get some bonus points for leading the lap.
Currently drafting off the pace car, doing 35 miles an hour. I would 100% assume early on in this race, you're taking all Ford fuel.
Oh, yeah. And this pit road speed limit, AJ, when you go down pit road here at Dover.
Pedro's having an issue.
Yes, he did. I think he missed his pit stall.
Yeah, he just had to back into it. You saw it on your screen.
But, yeah, the pit road speed limit here feels like you're going 5 miles per hour.
Like you're
I mean,
crawling.
Yep.
Oh, God. Pedro is still on pit road. And there he goes. 16th position for him.
He's going to have to fight his way from the mid-pack now back to the front.
Well, everybody, first caution of the evening happens on lap 28 out of 140. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we return, it'll be the restart from Dover Motor Speedway. You're watching All-Star 15 TV.
From Mortar to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
We're back, everybody. Getting ready for the restart. Rivera, Dalton, Macklin, and Daly. Green flag in the air. Ooh, a little bit of a tire spin from some of these drivers. They stacked way up. Dalton with a hell of a run.
3 wide.
Watch for that 22 to fall like a rock.
Yeah, Nelson Rivera did not take tires under that pit stop, everybody. Watch it at home, and he's going to be falling like a rock. And he tried to pit before the restart, but that was going to screw everybody up, so he stayed out.
He is hoping for a caution almost immediately right now.
He better hope he's not the caution at this point.
Yeah, that's a very good point, Mike. The thing is, it could work out, especially if we get cautions at a even, 30 lap here, 30 lap there, at 90, and people take all their tires and have to go to 140. He might sit in this, a good spot. But when we've come to Dover before, we've had 7 cautions last time, 4 cautions the time before that. In race 8 of 23, 0 cautions. So it definitely fluctuates with how many cautions we get here. But early on in the race, we're seeing a lot of green.
So for everybody at home, he restarted first, and within 2.5 laps, he's back to 18th. That's how much tires mattered.
18th. But up front, it's all Tyler Dalton. Further back, there's Jason Karlovich in third. He's battling with E.J. O'Rourke. O'Rourke has moved to that middle to high lane, kind of like what we were suspecting in the pre-race. Made a pass via the outside, and he's pulling away and has a...
Oh, Montesi in the inside wall. He keeps it going. But he got punted off of 4. Went in the inside wall.
There's Montesi there. gonna lose 2 positions. So didn't kill him whatsoever. It doesn't look like there's a lot of damage on that 4. But he's gonna regroup and keep going. Back to 13. Mike Kelly in the 44 of Glenn Campbell. They got that figured out. Moved Mike Kelly up a position. Actually, maybe move Kelly up another position. He's about to pass Brian Macklin.
That 2 truck looks like it's shot out of a cannon right now. Holy cow.
Yeah, that's all fun. But when those tires run out, if you thought the 22 Nelson Rivera fell back fast, he at least expected to. When those tires go on that 2, it's just going to come out from under him, and he's going to go from, well, right now, sitting in 8th, probably right back there with the 22.
He's making that outside line work. I mean, he's probably been one of the better drivers tonight so far in this race that's making that outside line work.
He is very fast right now compared to the leaders. Tyler Dalton at 24.14 to Mike Kelly, almost identical at 24.20.
It looks like Tyler's got a little bit more competition this run now with EJ.
Yeah, EJ is knocking on that back bumper through 3 and 4. Let's see if EJ can close in this time by. Dalton was about 0.03 faster that lap, so basically even. But they're all pulling away from everybody behind them. Oh.
Oh, hey. Excuse me. Sorry, I did not mean to do that.
Made me jump over here, pal.
I was trying to reach for my mute button and I didn't make it.
3, 4, and 5 on the racetrack under a blanket. Karlovich looking for 3rd underneath Sean Macklin. I think early on in this race, Sean's just going to let him have it as they come off of turn 4. Donaldson's doing pretty good. He's up 6 spots from 11th to 5th, but our biggest mover on the racetrack right now is that number 2 of Mike Kelly. 13th to 6th. He's going to get by Justin Fuller, which we've seen a lot of people get by Justin Fuller. And then in about 20 laps later, Justin Fuller passes them like they're stopped.
Yeah, Justin's just hanging in there, you know. He just knows this is going to be a long run, so he's like, I'll let you go right now, Mike. Let's get you toward the end of the run when I got fresher tires, or quicker tires, as I say.
But I think that, too, is running a very unique line through the turns. I'm going to jump on board with him and see if he's going to run it this time.
It's like he's almost, I was going to say, he looks like he's diming it, but he's also drifting up to get like a little bit straighter shot off the corners. Because you really want to get a straighter shot coming off of these corners to really carry the momentum going into the turn 1 and turn 3.
Yeah, it's not the normal diamonding where you're entering low through the center, you're up high, and then exiting low. He's doing all this from the middle to highland. And he is closing in on Wesley Donaldson.
If he can somehow make the tires last on this run, he's going to be setting himself up pretty nicely going into possibly green flag pit stops in the second half of this race.
We have a ways to go before green flag pit stops. On a fuel run, we can get about 60 to 70 laps depending on how much you're saving, or even if you're saving. So we got a while before we get there. We're looking at right around lap 100 or so.
And that's going to be a one-stop race to the end on fuel.
Battle is still between Macklin and Donaldson. But Fuller is not letting Kelly go. Fuller's going to shoot to the inside. He's going to draw even with Kelly through 3 and 4. Does the 2 hold strong on exit? Well, he's going to at least have a nice run down the front stretch. But I think that 51 just has the tires right now. Pretty sure the 2 used them all up.
Yeah, we're probably now at that transition point now in the run.
Yeah, we're about 20 laps, Mike. Called that one.
This is where the comers and goers are going to be showing up even more here. See, Pedro.
Yep.
I was going to say Pedro is struggling to get from where he was at off of pit road to getting back up toward the front of the field. He is mired in heavy traffic.
He's gotten 3 positions from 18th to 15th, but there's just traffic upon traffic. It's like New York rush hour for him right now.
Well, he's suffering through dirty air too, and when you're back in dirty air, your truck doesn't handle as good as what it was when you had less trucks in front of you, and it's not fun. Change for second. Jason Karlovich up the P2, but just past EJ O'Rourke.
Another one who probably burned up those Goodyear Eagles. That 41, it's just fallen back to 4th.
Yeah, Kelly's about to lose another spot to Byron Daly. So yeah, I think you're right, AJ. Kelly used those tires up, and now he's really suffering now.
Yeah, that 41 burned up those tires early to get all the way to that 2nd position, and now he's dealing with it.
And Fuller's looking to the inside of Donaldson here into 1. He's going to try to slide up here and gets it done. Move Justin Fuller up another spot. Meanwhile, Mike Kelly's about to lose another spot to Brian Macklin back there. I think EJ and Mike are hoping for a yellow now at this point.
Absolutely. They are struggling for grip right now. Kelly's back to 9th.
Oh, Seth Foudy about hit the inside wall off of 2. He had a big slide right there.
Well, Pedro is slowly moving up. In just about 6 laps, he's gone from 15th to 13th and now breathing down the 11th lap.
So Simley is holding up the guys in 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. We're a little bit tight here off of 4.
Trying to find Simley. Oh, there he is.
He went a lap down.
I'm so used to him being higher up in the running order.
Oh,
he is not liking that truck right now.
No, he is not. And something tells me, I don't know if he took tires or not after he spun, because he's awfully slow. You tell me if he took tires or not?
It tells me he comes down pit road. It doesn't tell me.
Gotcha. I don't know. That thing looks like he didn't get tires after he spun. How bad that truck looks. He didn't have too much damage in that wreck. I think something happened to Brian Wortman too, because Wortman's a lap down at this point. He came off pit road again after we took the green, so I don't know what happened with him under that yellow flag pit stop. Why he had to come back down again?
Maybe instead of I don't know.
Maybe
it shows him on pit road as we went green.
No, we'll have to check into
But
that.
that 74 is definitely struggling right now. A lap down. Actually, more than a lap down.
Yeah, that's what I said. I saw him pulling out pit road after a couple laps after that restart, and I was like, Nelson Rivera's a lap down now after staying out. That shows you how that was.
Well, he didn't stay out. He forgot to take tires.
Oh, that's right. Backfired on him. George Jensen losing another spot. Mojica moving up. Seth Foudy looking to get by him.
But Tyler Dalton right now is running away from the field. And the only one that is in range of catching him is almost 2 seconds back with Justin Fuller. And there is a lap car in between them.
Oh, George Jensen's going around. He is. Oh, Wetzel's in the wall. Oh my goodness, how they all saved it. Oh, I don't think they're done yet. If we can go back and show you what happened, George Jensen was halfway sideways.
You see the
Hey, look
88 getting pushed by Seth Foudy.
He looked like Noah Gragson at Iowa the other night. But now we're gaggle of trucks right here.
Yeah, George Jensen honestly ended up the best out of all of them.
If you would have asked him that 5 seconds later, hey, I don't think he'd have been like, I'll take that, I guess.
He's actually pulling away from them. Oh, Wetzel loose out of four.
Seth Foudy has something wrong. He just completely backed out of it.
I know he was very loose out of four, almost smacked the inside wall. He's probably just trying to collect it and make sure the truck is still underneath him. There you go. Donaldson, Macklin, Byron Daly. Byron Daly running that Larson lane through 1 and 2. He's going to get by the 91. Not before they got to turn 3, but watch this run out of 4. Almost made it look easy. That's what protecting the tires will do over the course of the run. We're 36 laps in, 38 laps in to this run, and you can really tell who sacrificed early speed for longevity. It's also looking like Fuller is about a 10th faster a lap than our race leader, Tyler Dalton. I think if Tyler leads the next 5 or so laps, he will lead the most laps tonight. Only missing the couple from other people under caution.
Yeah, I don't think anybody else would catch him at this point.
Pedro Mojica still trying to move up another spot. He's battling all the way from 18th after the pitting incident where he couldn't get into his box. Now he's up to 10th, so he has fought all the way back to a top 10.
Good for Pedro. Fight back.
Honestly, if I were him, I'd take whatever lap you're going to need to pit on and pit 2 laps soon.
Yeah.
That way you can benefit off of fresh tires before everybody else. Might gain you another couple positions as Donaldson is losing another spot.
It's going to be interesting to see here in the next 30 laps or so when these guys are going to come for fuel and when they're going to come to take tires to get them to the end of that race. Will anybody try to short pit it? Or will they stay out and try to run it long? That's the question.
But I can't tell you. I always stunk at strategy. I usually just throw them all on the board and see what everybody else is doing, and I just do the complete opposite.
I thought I played the strategy right last night, but I ended up running out of gas. So, you tell me. I think when I had the strategies figured out, I'm like, I got this. Nope. Oh, we got trouble. Mike Kelly's in the wall in 3.
So he was loose coming off at 2. And then Pedro just doesn't let up and spins him.
Well, this changes everything. Tough night for the guys at the Exultra paint jobs. That's two trucks and 2 cautions.
See if we can jump on board. With Pedro. Back it up just a little bit. You kind of saw Pedro start trying to shade to the inside, and by then he was already hooking the 2. But pit road is open, and here comes the cavalry. So while we are under our second caution of the evening here on lap 75, we're going to take a commercial break. When we return, it'll be the restart from Dover Motor Speedway. You're watching All-Star 15 TV.
Industries across the board utilize fleet trucks on a daily basis, from your local utility company to your grocery store, and many of these companies choose full-service fleet leasing. With a traditional lease, you're responsible for everything after you get the truck, but a full-service lease includes all the maintenance and other services at a set cost. Regardless of the scope or range of your fleet needs, TranService will engineer a fully customized, full-service fleet leasing solution optimized to your requirements. From asset acquisition requiring no capital investment, to the engineering, configuration, and selection of your fleet equipment, to the people, facilities, and equipment to keep your fleet maintained and repaired. TranService gives you everything you need, with advantageous fleet pricing based on our national account status, compliance expertise, inspections, licensing, permitting, personal property taxes, nationwide roadside service. We cover it all for you. Contact us today to learn why leading companies rely on TranService for complete turnkey leasing solutions.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
We're back, everybody. Pace car is off. Dalton to the outside, Fuller to the inside. Green flag back in the air. Stack up behind the leaders. Looks like everybody's gonna get squared away. Wetzel is loose through 1 and 2.
3 wide. Byron Daly looking to the inside. Trying to make it 3 wide.
Oh, Karlovich's gonna chop the nose. Mojica's looking for a position.
Oh, they're 3 wide in the back,
Wetzel's
and
in the
Montesi's in the inside wall, as Wetzel's in the outside wall. Montesi was in the inside wall.
That drops him all the way back to 21st. He is very slow. He's coming to
Oh, he's gonna be. Oh, I didn't know if he. Oh, he's gonna. I didn't think he was gonna make it there for a second. I thought he was gonna hit the inside tire barrier.
What's funny is neither did I. I thought he was in a lot of trouble right there. We are single file once again. Macklin, as you saw the Navy truck, smacked the wall coming out of turn 4. But while we are under this restart for the first time tonight, let's hit a crank it up. We're back, everybody, from the Crank It Up. Hopefully you guys enjoyed all that. But, wow, a lot of stuff happening on the racetrack right now. A couple 2 wide. We saw a 3 wide. And Justin Fuller is trying to get some of that ground back that he's lost to Jason Karlovich. Karlovich right now running almost identical lap times to Tyler Dalton. But Mike, what have you seen from the race so far tonight?
Tires, tires, tires. That's what I've seen so far tonight. Take care of them while you can, because if you don't, you're gonna lose a lot of positions. And we've also seen a lot of good racing, especially as the run has gone on. And these guys have been running from the top of the wall all the way to the bottom.
Yeah, they have really moved out that groove, but that 19 has stayed glued to that inside through the turns.
That thing looks like it's on rails tonight, and it's going to be very hard for anybody to beat him.
He's already locked up most laps left. And we're 50 laps away from the end of the race.
We are booking it tonight, folks.
Yeah, we are very much booking it. If you haven't yet, hit that like button, subscribe, follow if you're on Facebook or Twitch. Glad to have you all here. Share it out as well. Trying to get a lot of eyes on the Sim500 TranService truck series because they put on banger after banger after banger.
Oh, I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
If you're a wrestling fan, I hope you will.
Well, since we're under a good-sized green flag run, should we send a shout-out to all our sponsors?
Yes. Starting off with the Nerds Do Nerd Things podcast every Thursday, except tomorrow. Because I'm working late. New episodes over on their YouTube channel, the Nerds Do Nerd Things podcast, Falcon Grafix. Save $5 off of your iRacing vehicle wrap when you use code AllStar15TV when talking to Mick Olofsson. Go check it out. He does really good work. The Wrestling with Nerds podcast. Every Sunday night, they'll talk about the week of wrestling that was, including a couple games, PLEs, pay-per-views. They talk about all things WWE, TNA, New Japan. They try not to talk about AEW. But right here on All-Star 15 TV, you have the Off and Turn 1 podcast. Joe Hutchings, Gary Wells do a great job with covering all things motorsports, NASCAR, IMSA, F1, especially IndyCar. Right here on the channel, go check it out. Mike and myself were a guest on the show, I think, last week? 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
yes.
It was a lot of fun. We got to vent a lot about future NASCAR.
Yep, and those boys will be busy talking about the races this upcoming weekend. Formula One back in action in Spain, in Barcelona, I believe. Then we'll have NASCAR taking the weekend up to New Hampshire for the Xfinity Series and Cup Series. IndyCar out in Laguna Seca. What will be the fallout from IndyCar signing with Fox? That's another thing they'll probably be discussing.
Bad camera angles.
Bad production. And then we'll also, the IMSA 6 hours, Salem 6 Hours of the Glen is going on this weekend. So a lot of big motorsports going on this weekend.
Let's not forget that modified race up in New Hampshire as well on Saturday.
Oh, yeah. Yes, that's going to be must-see TV. Is that on Flow Racing or Motortron?
Should be. Should be on
And I assume those guys will also touch on the 24 Hours of Le Mans that happened this past weekend, the NASCAR weekend out in Iowa for the first time.
I thought that was a really good race.
I did too.
I hope they continue going back.
Me too. I don't want them to just have it a 1 year placeholder for Montreal. I mean, because Iowa does deserve a cup race every single year.
And they showed out.
They did. But yes, make sure to tune in. Make sure to follow all the links that AJ talked about. Any little thing can help with all those guys putting on great work and great content.
They're all in the description of the video on Facebook and YouTube. All the links. Karlovich has caught Tyler Dalton. Look at that. That gap is closing up. But don't look too far. Justin Fuller is... Hey guys, remember what happened last time? You guys got all the way out there, and by the end of the run, I was right on your back bumper.
Yep, and he is starting to run those guys down in front of him as we are hitting lap 100. That means we have 40 laps to go.
And as we hit lap 100, our biggest mover of the race goes all the way to that 13th position, up 8 spots. It's Richard Beasley.
Tell you guys under a blanket right now is Kevin Stone, Seth Foudy, the faster Pastor Benfield. Those guys are under a blanket right here. Yep.
They're 2x2.
We're about to be 3 wide here. If Kevin can... Oh, no, he decided to back out of that.
Nelson Rivera has yet to overcome his pit road issues.
Yes. Gonna be a tough night now for him.
This is really good for Tyler Dalton. Well, the thing is, Nelson Rivera is having all those issues. But he was 14 to the good. Tyler Dalton was -3 to the cut line. And he's led a lap. He's led the most laps. There's nobody can take that away from him. And he's currently leading the race. So I think that -3 is going to turn into a positive. Probably, I would say, 5 or 6.
If he wins the race too, then think about that too a little bit, adding maybe a couple extra points there.
Absolutely. Karlovic starting to fall backwards as Fuller is getting ever so closer to these top 2 drivers.
Start cueing the Jaws theme now.
I was just thinking that, or the kitty from
Tony Stewart. Yeah, that's good. That's a good one.
On board with the 51 of Justin Fuller. Listen to how late he gets on the gas coming out of these turns. He is pointing straight off the turn before he fully gets on the gas.
That's showing you how strong of a truck that he has right now, and that he's confident that he saved enough tire to go at the guys in front of him.
That gap is 8/10 right now.
My thing is here too is we're getting toward the end of this race. When do you come get your last set of tires, AJ?
If we get another caution.
Yes, but do you want to take them as soon as possible, or do you want to wait a little bit and then take them more toward the end? But I would think you would want to take them as soon as possible, just to give you enough time to make some moves, you know? Because if you take them too late in the race, then
You won't be able
can you
to.
make moves? Yeah.
And the thing is, if we get another caution, there's no telling if we're going to get another one after.
Make the jobs for the pit crews easy, and the crew chief, they'll be like, all right, that's all 4 tires. We ain't coming down again the rest of the race. Go get them.
That's all, folks. Stay tuned to after the race goes checkered. We'll talk to our podium finishers. Your top 3 is closing in under a blanket. Mike, what are you seeing on the racetrack?
Well, I'm seeing a lot of people gaggled together. You got the front 3 that are gaggled together, and then you have Byron, Pedro, Sean, and Wesley, and EJ all gaggled together in a group right here.
A big group of 5 cars. That goes all the way back to EJ.
Yeah, well, I'm just seeing a lot of guys struggling if they burn their stuff off, and a lot of guys that saved a little bit earlier in the run trying to take advantage of those things. So we're clumping together in like mini packs, as we would see like at a restrictor plate.
Which is weird to see at the Monster Mile.
But that's also what makes Dover unique, to be honest, too. Oh, Donaldson looking to the inside of Macklin off of 4. Can't get it done.
He's trying. He's going to lose a lot of ground. That's
Pedro.
what I mean. If you can't make it work, you're going to lose spots.
Yeah, Pedro's all over the bumper of Byron in front of him. Now EJ's looking to the inside of Wesley, and he's going to get that pass done. Donaldson went way up the track.
Yeah, it looked like he kind of just got out of the way for him. Some Thea Hill energy. Richard, that's funny. He's definitely a firecracker. As 1, 2, and 3 under a blanket.
Yeah, those 3 are right together here. Tyler's had the dominant truck all night. Karlovich thinks that, you know, maybe it's my time to shine. And then Justin, and Fuller had the wall.
Fuller did get the wall, and that's going to back him up a little bit.
And you're thinking Fuller's just like, I think I got my tires saved better than both y'all.
The fun part about this is while the 19 has had the dominant car, we've never seen a full run.
No, we have not.
Everybody's been able to get back to Tyler, but by the time that happens, a caution
Oh, here we
comes out.
go.
There goes Karlovich.
He's looking. Can he get it done, though?
Dalton's gonna have a nice run out of the turn.
Now they're going to swap. Karlovich is going to do the outside, and Tyler's going to do the bottom. Byron Daly side by side with Mojica behind this, as we focus on that. This is where we need split screen.
Right? I would if I had multiple iRacing accounts and multiple computer screens. Not multiple computers is the correct word I was looking for.
I think we know a guy that could hook you up with one.
Probably. You know how much power that uses? Having
A
multiple
lot.
computers?
Oh, holy cow. Yeah, Fuller about... I think Fuller, like, turned it left to stay off him, too. Oh, EJ works on the wall. So we're watching this off of 2. Those guys are side by side.
Well, EJ hit the wall, but it didn't hurt him very much. He still got by the 91 of Donaldson.
Oh, oh man, Fuller, whew, he had trouble off of 4.
There's so much going on the racetrack, and it's only a mile long.
That is where we're going to have to start doing radio style here.
I don't know if that would actually help. They're in the same spot on the racetrack, just a couple seconds separating them. There's Sean Macklin looking to the outside of the 58 of Mojica. Trying to follow the 06 of Daly off of turn 4.
And we're closing down at 21 laps to go next time by.
Ready? Wow, that didn't take long.
And these guys are going to be, as we continue, if this thing continues to go green all the way to the end, this is going to be the worst your truck's going to be feeling all night long. And it's going to be the longest run that we've had tonight.
Now some of these guys are probably screaming for a caution, but one person that isn't is that 19 and, well, honestly, it's the 51.
I'd say both of those guys.
Well, the thing is, Tyler is really good on the short to medium long run, as there goes Fuller looking to the inside.
He's making the power move right here.
That's one hell of a power move. Can he get the pass off of 4? Dalton's going to have a nice hole shot out of turn 4, down to turn 1.
And Tyler knows that this is the race right here, possibly.
This is for the win.
Oh, I thought Fuller was going to clear him there.
Back down into turn 3.
He's going to clear him now.
Throw it in there, and he's cleared the 19, Mike.
He did. That was a power move. Let's see if Tyler has anything for him. He's coming back at him.
We've seen Fuller do this so often. But he just lets the race come to him. Doesn't rush anything. And by the end of a long run, that 51 is in the top 5 and possibly contending for a win.
Now, if I remember correctly, he was not very happy last week in his post-race interview because he felt like that got away from him. So maybe he's using that. I know, but he's probably using that as maybe possibly a little bit of motivation here.
I'd be lucky and happy to finish second.
That's how I felt last week when I finished second.
Dalton's now trying to keep up with the 51. It's not even close right now. There's
I think Dalton
10th difference between the both of them.
Dalton's I think he's gonna probably be wanting a caution now at this point.
But it looks like Karlovic is having the same issue Dalton is. He's falling back as well. Mojica, though, is looking very strong. He's the fastest truck on the racetrack. Our leaders anywhere from a 84 to a 96. Mojica that time by at 25.78, so 2/10 faster for the most part. With 15 to go, coming to 14 to go. Oh, Donaldson's getting past. O'Rourke to the outside of the 91. Looks like they're going to go back to single file.
And his field is pretty spread out now.
Just looking at lead lap trucks, you go from first all the way to Alan Wild in 20th, 22 seconds back. And there's Alan Wild right there.
11 laps to go. 12 laps to go coming this time.
This is nuts. Like, we've had Tyler Dalton lead well over 100 laps, possibly right around 120 laps. And now, when it matters the most, Justin Fuller passes the 19 and is pulling away. That gap is just about a second. Dalton sitting in second and third. Mojica, Karlovic in fourth. In fifth, Sean Macklin. Wesley Donaldson in sixth. E.J. O'Rourke in seventh. Byron Daly in eighth and ninth. Brian Macklin and Mark George Jensen rounding out that top 10. Our biggest move of the race, the driver the number 10. That would be Richard Beasley, up 9 spots, 21st to 12th. As George Jensen's looking to get by Brian Macklin. That was a really good...
Oh, he's in the inside wall! Oh, is this going to bring out a caution? There's debris all over the place. Oh, if he stops right there. Oh, is this going to throw a yellow? Oh, he's crawling, AJ.
It's showing him off the racetrack.
Oh, Justin Fuller's, if he could see what's going on, he's just begging, like, please don't be a yellow. Please don't be a yellow.
Well, there it is right there. Fuller is also now battling with Alan Wild. As the 15's just going to go to the high side and let him by. I think George Jensen's going to make it to pit road.
Yeah, he couldn't believe how many people's hearts just dropped in their lungs. It was just like, oh.
That would have been crazy. With maybe one or two drivers having an extra set. I don't know if it'd be enough time, but you'd be significantly faster than everybody.
P3, looking for P2, Pedro Mojica. Ding, ding. This man is on a mission.
Oh, he's on a mission to come talk to us. Already in a podium spot. Alan Wild just jumped on pit road.
If we get a late race yellow, don't count out that 58 truck on a late restart to do something here. Oh, sideways off of 4.
He's trying to get everything out of that 58 Chevy Silverado. Absolutely everything. And Dalton's just running his race right now.
And all Justin Fuller is looking is to get to that white flag because he knows once the white flag's out, the race is official.
5 to go. Coming to the line now for Justin Fuller. Gonna fly it to turn 1.
And this is going to be like the longest 5 laps of his life, knowing just like, I don't want a yellow, I don't want a yellow.
Just looking at about another minute and a half of racing for him.
Pedro's going to the inside again. Alan Wild's coming off with fresh tires here.
The 15 going to help either one of them?
I know he's got faster tires, but I mean, those guys are battling for second. You know what I mean?
There he goes. That's going to hurt Pedro.
Yeah,
on
that's going to
exit.
hurt him. And if I'm Pedro, I'm not very happy about that. So we have 3 laps to go.
Really looking forward to seeing if that 58 can get to the 19. But dual popsicle sticks coming out for Justin Fuller through 3 and 4. Coming to 2 laps to go. Alan Wild, a couple laps down, approaching on your race leader.
And we are coming to the white flag, sponsored by
The Wrestling with Nerds podcast. Go check it out. A lot of fun episodes over on the Nerds Who Nerd Things YouTube page, as Fuller's going to dive into turn 1 for the final time with a 2.5-second lead over Tyler Dalton.
He played the strategy right tonight.
Absolutely. He was able to be flawless with that car over the long run. And coming out of turn 4, the driver of the 51 is going to win at Dover Motor Speedway. Coming home in second, you have Tyler Dalton, Pedro Mojica in third, Sean Macklin in fourth, Jason Karlovich in fifth, Wesley Donaldson in sixth, EJ O'Rourke in seventh, eighth, Byron Daly ninth, Brian Macklin, and rounding out that top 10, it's Chad Coleman. What a fun race, Mike.
That was.
Well,
So Tyler Dalton led 117 laps.
that was close. I said 120.
You were right on the nail almost. Just needed 3 more laps. And Justin Fuller's burning it down.
He's got to feel awful. Well, while we wait for people to get to the broadcast booth, actually, here they come. Holy cow, that didn't take long. All right. Talk to the driver at number 58. Coming home in that third position.
I'll take him. All right, Pedro, it's Mike and AJ in the booth. You got us.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Well, man, talk about your race. We did see you had a little bit of trouble early on that first pit stop, but you rebounded very nicely to get a podium finish here tonight at Dover in third. So just give me an overall sense on how your night went.
Yeah, I mean, start of the race, kind of from practice, couple laps I was able to do since like it was getting loose on the long run. So I figured if the first one run long, the saving tires would be big. But so yeah, for beginning of the race, first, I guess what was it, 20 laps or so, 20, 25 laps before that first yellow came out, we were just riding, and then the tide was starting to turn, and we were starting to catch everybody, and it was going to be fun there, and the yellow comes out, of course. So we come in the pits. There was a huge checkup in pit entry. I'm not sure what happened, but I got in a situation where I was to the inside, and so I wanted to tell everybody, but like I drove to the boxes so that I didn't get hit for one, but two, also didn't like screw anybody else up, so they could just get in their box clean. But in doing that, I kind of lost track of where my box was at and just totally blew it. And so practically it ended up being like I started in the back of the race. So I think I was 15th when I came out. So kind of the same approach there. Just, I was already back there. So I was like, well, might as well just save tires and just kind of see what happens. So save tires and got up to the top 10. I got up to like 8th or 9th, or got up to 9th, I think. battling for 8th, and then the next yellow came out, pitted, got a decent stop, gained 1 spot, restarted 8th, and then kind of like on that last run, like I tried to position myself better so that I wasn't as far back, but still try to manage saving tires. But which we were. I felt like at the end we were probably the fastest or one of the fastest. It's just I was buried further in traffic than Fuller was, so I had to fight more. Which the biggest fight was with Byron. Byron just defended really well, and I got stuck behind him. It's like once I got by him, it's like I was flying and was able to catch the leaders, and then I got by Jason relatively fast. Then I got stalled at Tyler slash, you know, the lap car didn't really help with that battle. Kind of being in the middle of it kind of disrupted uh, my momentum that I had going. But yeah, overall it was a good race. It was actually fun. Like you could actually pass and pack air and make people loose and pass them that way, which is how I did a lot of my passes to get back to the front. Um, So yeah, overall, I would say it was a good run, especially for what happened earlier in the race. It's just one of those unfortunate, like, if that didn't happen at the beginning of the race, we could probably be in victory lane right now. So either way, that's all good. We'll take a top 3 and move on.
Well, as we put Dover in the rearview mirror and we go next week to Chicagoland, my home racetrack, give me your thoughts on going to Chicagoland, a mile and a half. Should be pretty exciting racing.
Yeah, hopefully the setup's like this, because if it is, then yeah, with the aero, it seems like whatever they did to the aero package, for at least for Dover, it made Dover actually more enjoyable. Between that and the setup, actually could race. Uh, Before it's like like the leader was gone no matter what. So at least this, like we saw in the race, that people could pass for the lead if they save tires and whatnot. So I would expect a lot of the same next week at Chicagoland, and a little bit more multi groove there, especially in turn 1 and 2. I think you could run the rim up there. So it's just going to be balancing that stuff out in your tires and track position.
Well, Pedro, before we let you get out of here for the night, is there anybody you'd like to thank sponsor-wise?
Just appreciate you guys for putting on the broadcast. Appreciate TranService for sponsoring the series, and Glenn, he does a lot for this series and supports it a lot. So appreciate them. All the Evans at Sim500. Appreciate everything they do. Let me have fun here, and all of us for the most part. And then all the guys on Team Name, appreciate them. Overall, had a decent race, I think. And then yeah, congrats to Justin on the win.
Well, Pedro, good bounce back tonight to come home P3, and we will catch you next week at Chicago, okay?
Yeah, hopefully schedule works out and I can come out and race next week. So trying to race a little bit more now.
For sure, man. Hopefully that does work out for you, and we'll hopefully catch you more down the line too if that works out for you.
Yeah, hopefully. But appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Thank you for everything you do.
And that was
Mahika
Pedro.
finishing 3rd. Mike, pull up the number 2, Tyler Dalton. Hey Tyler, it's AJ Mike in the broadcast booth. Great race overall. It seemed like that last run the car got a little away from you, but what a fantastic race! 117 laps led. That's got to look good heading to Chicagoland next week.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a bittersweet race. Sucks to go out there and lead that much and then lose, but I felt like I was good for about 50 laps. I was trying to make sure that I took care of the right rear. And I think basically I think it caught up with me at about 20 laps left in the race, so the right front was starting to just get too worn. So it started to get a little tight on me there. I think the rubber buildup was probably getting the track a little tighter as well, so I was definitely faster when the track was looser. But the goal coming in tonight, honestly, was like a win was the best scenario, but it's just get a top 5, get good points, because we were not in a good point situation after getting wrecked out at Dega and then doing okay last week. And I know this is one of my good tracks, and then normally Chicago is a pretty good track for me, so I was feeling pretty good coming in here, but you never know with the way they've changed the trucks, so I was definitely surprised to this morning doing some laps, seeing that it was loose, and definitely excited to race tonight.
Yeah, dude, I think, being -3 coming into tonight, and like I said, leading the most laps, coming away with a second place. I assume that's gonna put you over the cut line heading into Chicagoland. But speaking of Chicagoland, what are we expecting with that 19 heading over to Chicagoland?
Oh, honestly, I hope it's like the Xfinity car. The Xfinity car was really loose there, and we went green the entire way. And it was a really fun race, and we had a lot of speed there. So far, this new truck package seems to drive a lot like the Xfinity car. So hoping that's the same there. Hadn't ran a lap there yet. Was focused on Dover, but usually that's one of my better tracks. 1.5 miles. Normally, 1.5 miles in the flat tracks, my bread and butter. So definitely happy seeing that track as the last one of the round. Looks like we're 7 points to the good right now, so we got a little bit of a cushion going in there now. So hopefully we can just make it to the next round and feel really confident about the tracks in the last round, other than Phoenix. So might have something for them.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what you guys have. Before we let you go and celebrate a podium finish, um, sponsors you want to plug?
Yeah, I just want to thank TranService Logistics, great sponsor of the series and the entire league as a whole. Been a long time sponsor. I want to thank 811.org. Make sure you call before you dig. I want to thank all my teammates down there in the Sim500 Misfits. Always some good advice there from practice. I think helped me a little bit. Me and Wesley worked a lot to figure out a good strategy for this race. That worked out pretty good for both of us. So and I want to thank y'all putting on the broadcast.
All right, brother. Well, thank you for coming up and talking with us, and once again, congratulations at the podium finish.
Thank you.
All right, Mike. Since you took third, I'll let you take number 1 too. Here you go.
Justin Fuller, it's Mike and AJ. You got us.
Yeah, I got you.
Man, what a race. Tyler dominated the entire race, but it seemed like you had the dominant truck as we got later and later into a run. Talk to me about your race overall and talk to me about the pass for the win.
Yeah, it was a great race. I did not have any hot lap speed at all in this thing. So I just went into full conserve mode and made sure I kept some grip on the rear tires for the end of these runs, and it ended up working out. It kind of sucked every time I would get close to the lead. Caution would come out. So it's kind of nice to have that green flag run to the end. But yeah, the truck drove fairly decent. I wasn't a huge fan of it, but wasn't too bad, I guess. So, but the pass for the lead, I just had to be aggressive as possible because I knew Tyler wasn't just going to give it up, and it wasn't going to be easy to pass. So I kind of drove it off into the corner, kind of squeezed him up just a little bit, more than enough room to get off the corner, and we went side by side, and then I just drove it up into the next corner, and I was able to clear him and drive off into the sunset.
Well, overall, I thought me and AJ, we thought it was going to turn into more of a strategy race tonight, especially depending on when cautions fell and knowing how many sets of tires you guys had in the pits. But as we focus forward now to Chicagoland, to end the first round of the playoffs, give me your thoughts as we're going to Chicagoland, and especially now with that new aerodynamic thing that these trucks have gotten on the last update.
Well, I'll let you know next week. Chicago is another one of my favorite tracks. So most of these tracks that are on the schedule from here on out are really good tracks for me. So, but again, we're all still learning the new aerodynamics and the chassis changes on this truck. So it's not going to be easy. We're all learning, and just looking forward to getting there and keeping this momentum rolling, and hopefully we can wrap up a third championship in the Truck Series.
Well, before we let you get out of here to celebrate this win tonight, is there anybody you'd like to thank?
Yeah, thanks to Sim500 all what they do. Thanks to TranService Logistics for sponsoring the series. Thanks to you guys for on the broadcast. Thanks to everybody that watched. Thanks to everybody in the race. Thanks to all my teammates at Math Motorsports. We got quite the streak going on. We've won every race since the last Dover race, other than the plate races of Talladega or Daytona and Atlanta. So we got a really good streak going on with our team, and hopefully we can carry that all the way to the end of the season. Thanks to Trey Hudson for always keeping me looking good, and yeah, just looking forward to the next one, and hope you all have fun.
Well, man, congratulations again on the win here tonight at Dover, and we will catch you next week in Chicago, okay?
Thanks, have a good one.
Justin Fuller, Fuller finishing first here tonight. Mike, take us home.
Well, AJ, that was a classic Dover race, if you ask me. The tire strategies, the long green flag runs, it all worked out the way I thought it was going to go tonight. And these guys put on a heck of a show, and I'm ready to have you join me here in Chicago next week. It'll be a party.
Yeah, it's going to be a huge party. I can't wait to get out to Juliet, Illinois. But Justin Fuller is going to win tonight. Tyler Dalton in second. Pedro Mojica third. Sean Macklin fourth. Jason Karlovich fifth. Wesley Donaldson in sixth. Seventh goes to E.J. O'Rourke. Byron Daly in eighth. Ninth, Brian Macklin. And rounding out that top 10, it's Chad Holman. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in tonight. Glad to have you all here. Hopefully you like the new cool overlay that I got and put together. But yeah. Thanks for joining us. We will see you next week. Mike, great job as always. Have a good one, pal.
You too, AJ. We'll catch everybody at home for at least my home track next week. And you all enjoy your weekend too.